Okay, so I finally think I'm gonna actually get this done. I have been really wanting to go through all of the brown inks that I have in my collection of bottles and samples. Basically I'm trying to figure out which ones I like, which ones I don't like, and not necessarily make a decision about what kind of bottles I want to purchase next, but more so I want to give each of these inks a fair chance. And so I've got a Midori paper pad, A4 size, and I'm going to use this to do some swatches. This will be, well, I have high hopes here. I don't know how realistic they are, but high hopes. I'm going to do a bunch of swatches on here of all of the inks, and this will be my first video in hopefully a series of 15 different inks. So right now my plan is to put all of them into this Lamy pen, and I have a whole bunch of different nibs for this pen. So what I'm currently, this one has a medium nib. I don't know if it's going to show that. Hello. Ooh, it's not focusing. And yes, I'm very sorry that you have to see the massacre of my hands right now. I had a reaction from gardening, so yeah, that was great. Not. And then I've got these, a bunch of these extra Lamy nibs. So I'm gonna end up, at least my plan for right now, is I'm going to ink up this pen with each of these inks that I have. I've got like a whole bunch of samples here, and then I've got a bottle of Monteverde Canyon Rust, as well as Dominant Industry November Leaves, and Robert Oster Gold Antiqua. So I'm gonna ink this up and put probably like maybe less than half a fill. It depends on how much I go through, but I'm planning on writing a decent amount, like at least a couple pages in my journal every time I choose a new ink, so that I can give it a fair try and just see if I like the color, the consistency, the just if I think it pairs well with this pen or any of the other nibs. Yeah, I definitely want to see which nib I like better with each particular ink. So yeah, okay, let's get started on swatching. Just give you a brief look of what my setup is looking like here. I've got my paper pad. I'm gonna use some glass dip pens for this. My samples and the bottles over there. Okay, I was debating trying to use like cotton swabs to do the swatches, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try this and see how it goes, and it's been quite a while since I've used Monteverde Canyon Rust. I don't like how these bottles seal, and maybe it's just the ink, I don't know, but every time I always get ink on me. Okay, here we go. We'll see how this works. We're winging it. Okay, that's kind of cool. And I think I'll write the name every time when I do it. Oh, I didn't bring a, what am I gonna use for that? Let's go like this. So this is Monteverde Canyon. Oh, I love writing the word canyon. It is so satisfying, I don't know why. And I'm surprised that the flow of this is not working better. Okay, that's the first one. Okay, wow, so we just had a fantastic fail here. I thought I was getting footage of Dominant Industry November Leaves and Robert Oster Gold Antiqua, but apparently I wasn't. So we're not gonna redo that. We're just gonna say some key points here. November Leaves was extremely dry. I know this from experience beforehand. And Robert Oster Gold Antiqua was quite nice. It's like definitely not, I would say that it is more, it's on the wetter side of inks. So that was a lot easier to write with, I'll tell you that much. November Leaves was really struggling to come off the glass dip pen. Okay, so that is all our bottles. And now I'm going to move on to the samples. Let's just go at random here. Okay, so I've got Pilot Iroshizuku Tsukuyo. Oh, no, not Tsukuyo. Why am I saying Tsukuyo? Tsukushi. Here we go. I think I remember... this sample does say mix on it, so I think I remember maybe like adding some water to it. I don't know if I actually like mixed it with other inks. I kind of doubt it, but I think I definitely added water because from what I remember, it was very like too wet. I had to dilute it so that it wouldn't feather on everything. Okay, here we go. Let's see how this goes. That's supposed to be a P, not a D. Pilot Iroshizuku. So far, this looks gorgeous to me. I'm like, wow. Is it just the Midori paper? I don't really know what's going on, but that looks really pretty, in my opinion. This is Tsukushi. Oh my, how do you spell this? Tsukushi. Yep. Okay. Next one. Grabbing them at random. Looks like we have, oh, let's put that over there. We've got Kaweco Caramel Brown. Let's see how this goes. Oh, wow. having a brain fart moment. This is a lot darker. I guess a lot darker than I was expecting, apparently. Okay. Oof. I'm gonna get messy here. Let's try to clean that off. Okay. Writing sample. Yeah, I really like the Tsukushi on this Midori paper. That is gorgeous and really winning me over. Maybe I did mix another ink into it. I'm not sure. I just know I really like that one right now. Okay, so this is Kaweco. How do I spell caramel? Caramel Brown. That one's a slightly drier ink, I think. Just based on that little writing sample. Okay, let's see what's next. We're going with Diamine Inkvent Nutcracker. And I should probably move the camera. Okay. Here we go. Oh, this one's gonna be dark. And I'm having a hard time getting it down onto the page. Okay. Okay, I never specify that it's Inkvent, so we're gonna call this Diamine Nutcracker. Voila! Done that one. Okay. This looks cool so far. I'm liking this. Let's do Diamine Espresso. Another sample. I know from experience this is very dark ink, so I guess we're doing a bunch of dark inks all in a line here. I have a feeling on camera this is going to turn out like black looking. It is brown, but it might not look like it. Okay. Here we go. How am I gonna write this? Diamine Espresso. Flowing really nicely off the glass nib. Espresso. Oh, that's really, okay. That's a very pleasant writing experience, I can tell you that much. At least with this nib, so. There's a win in that regard. I feel like this is probably gonna be too dark of an ink for me, but you never know until you actually ink it up, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, next one we're going with Diamine Ochre. I think this should be a lighter one. From what I remember. Definitely on the more orange red side. For sure, for sure. Ooh, okay, it's a little bit difficult to get off of this. I wonder if that's indicating that it's a drier ink. Diamine Ochre. Here we go. Apparently I've got a lot left of that sample, so we'll see how I like it. Okay, next up we have Herbin Lie De Thé. Just trying to clean off my dip pen here. Sometimes it's easier said than done. That's just how it is. Okay, here we go. Lie De Thé. You know, I think that I must have gotten some shimmer in that Tsukushi. I think that's what's happening there. It's very pretty, but I don't think that's an accurate representation of Tsukushi. So if you're thinking about trying to get your hands on a bottle, or, I mean, I know that it is out of, they're not making that ink anymore, so, okay, what am I doing? Herbin Lie De Thé. Lie De Thé. It's kind of pretty on this paper, but I feel like it's not very dynamic. It feels kind of flat to me. And I'm very keen on shading. That's like that's probably my favorite property, actually. Yeah, I don't like sheen. I mean, maybe I can handle a little bit of sheen, but I don't like that it rubs off. That's what's annoying to me. I don't want to have like smudges everywhere when I'm journaling. I also really like inks that dry quickly as well, so that is my preference. Okay, next we've got Waterman Absolute Brown. And we'll do a writing sample. Oh, yeah, I'm getting inky fingers now. If I wasn't before. Waterman Absolute Brown. It's absolutely brown. I don't know that it actually is, but Absolute Brown. Okay. I don't think I mind that shade of brown. I think I'm a bit undecided about it at this point, though. I need to actually try it in a pen. I feel, yeah, the Diamine Espresso, I'm actually getting a lot of sheen from that, which is kind of surprising to me. And Diamine Nutcracker has green sheen to it. Yeah. Diamine Espresso, I think I would call that a black sheen. Actually, maybe I'll just show. See, oh yeah, yeah. That is sheening. Don't know if you can see Nutcracker super well, but that's got a green sheen. Canyon Rust has got kind of this black, not quite sheen, but definitely, it reminds me of like our iron gall type of shading, I guess. Gold Antiqua, I don't think has, I wouldn't say it has sheen. Okay, what's next? Let's do Herbin Cacao Du Bresil. I remember being kind of intrigued by the almost purple kind of tones to this ink, but I feel like they're not showing up very well because the ink is so dark. Again, another thing that I just have to try in a pen. Herbin Cacao, I think that's an A and then an O, Du Bresil. It wrote nicely, so there's that. I think I prefer that to Diamine Espresso at this point. There's a bit more shading, so I'm a fan of that. This page is gonna look really cool once it's finished. I'm excited. Okay, what do we got? Palette Iroshizuku Yama-Guri. The label is, well, it's seen better days. Almost unreadable. Okay, I think that I probably watered this one down. We'll see how it looks. But just warning you. I think this one, I'm pretty sure this ink is still being made. I think it was just Tsukushi, Inaho, and there's another blue. I don't remember what it was called though. That got discontinued. Okay, so Pilot Iroshizuku. Feels amazing to write with. Yama-Guri. Okay, I like that. I'm surprised. I keep getting surprised by a bunch of these things. I'm at least right now, I'm getting one over. I've had a hard time with finding brown inks that I actually really liked. So green, on the other hand, is a color that's very easy for me to like. I have, well, too many ink bottles of green. You can never have too many, can you? Face it, Emma. You probably have too many. Anyway, okay, let's move this over a little bit so it'll be more visible. Okay, what's next? Diamine Rustic Brown. I'm pretty sure this one's super red, kind of like the Canyon Rust. Yep, I'd say that's pretty red. Am I getting that in? Might need to move the camera over a little bit. Move this. There we go. Okay, Diamine Rustic Brown. I don't know why exactly they call this brown. It definitely looks more red to me, in my opinion. Where am I gonna write this? Diamine Rustic Brown. Okay. We are down to the last two. Is that for real? Okay, I'm actually kind of surprised about that. I'll have to do a count afterwards, I guess. Okay. Next up, Diamine Chocolate Brown. I've heard that a lot of people like this ink. I have not learned to love it. Can I say that? Yeah, I don't know if things will change once I do this little challenge for myself, but I guess we'll find out, won't we? I may just decide that even though I like chocolate, well, this ink just isn't for me. Diamine Chocolate Brown. Ooh, it does flow really nicely off the glass nib, so I approve of this. Chocolate Brown. Okay, we have one more. It's terribly exciting, isn't it? Here we go. What do we got? Ferris Wheel Press, Beaver Brown. I have used this ink before, and I was impressed with it, but then I never really... Oh, are we in frame? Scooch that over a bit. But then I never really tried it again after that, and I just feel like I haven't given this ink the best chance to wow me. So we're gonna give it another go. I do like the purple undertones. That is probably, I think that's what I'm looking for in a brown ink. I like yellow undertones and purple undertones. I think that's what I've figured out thus far, at least. Okay, Ferris Wheel Press. Wow. Right now, that is writing super wet. Beaver. Brown. Voila. There we are. Okay, I will give you a better overview of this because I realize it is not the greatest angle. So that's the Beaver Brown that I just did. I think you can, the camera's picking it up a little bit, that it's got a bit of purple. It looks almost a bit red, I think, from the camera, but yeah, these are all the inks that I'm gonna try. Tsukushi, I don't know if you can tell, but that's definitely been tainted with shimmer ink of some variety. And you can see a little bit of that blackish, not quite sheening, but very similar to Canyon Rust. Reminds me on the Absolute Brown. Lie De Thé doesn't look like it has anything extra. Diamine Ochre's got a fair bit of shading in there. I'm definitely interested to see what Cacao Du Bresil ends up looking like. And Yama-Guri. But again, I really think that I've tainted both of these Pilot Iroshizuku inks, so don't be expecting yours to look like that. Chocolate Brown, not really doing it for me. Okay, so just to wrap up, I am actually getting quite excited to do the ink challenge. That's kind of cool. I feel like that kind of showcases the ink a little bit better lighting wise. I'm having an awful time trying to find good lighting here. But oh well, we work with what we have. Also, Dominant Industry November Leaves still has not dried completely. I'm a little bit surprised at that. And Cacao Du Bresil, but everything else is dry. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, I will hopefully see you back here with more videos using this Lamy Safari with a whole bunch of different nib sizes. And yeah, thanks for following along this journey. Bye. Okay, I don't know how you end these things. So, okay, I can't. Goodbye. See you later.